Good evening, gentlemen and ladies, brothers and sisters out there. Good evening, Biafra Nation. Good evening, Eastern Security Network. Good evening, Biafra Security Service. Good evening, Eastern Youth Network. Good evening, Ndeze. Ndị Ichie, good evening. Asị m udo dịrị nwoke, udo dịrị nwaanyị. Asị m egbe bere ugobere nke si bi ebela nkwukwa ya. Okirikiri ka a na-agba ukwu ose adịghị arị elu. Agbawo dịka izu mgba abụọ baa ya n'ime. Agwọ tụrụ mbe tụrụ okpokoro. Ọchụ nwa ọkụ ada nwa ọkụkọ nwa nwe ọsọ. Erekwana ihe ovuli isi adịghị ihe ọla akụwa. Ele adịghị ihe mere adịghị ihe lemi ya. Asa agụ ihe ụzọ agụ ihe ọnụ. Ọnụ gbara nkịtị erushiela. Ndị Iche biko, asụma onye ejiri oji bụ onye oji ga-ehafu oji ejiri ya esi ọnụ ya ruchie. Ha mbụ bụ onye oji agwakwara m izu oji nna wesi m ji unu ọnụ m agaghị iruchi. Agwakwara m ịrụ ọrụ Chineke si m bịa rụọ ọrụ m ọnụ m agaghị iruchi. Asị m biko ọhaneze gee ntị. Aha m bụ Dr. Charles Chukwuemeka Amanze, High Prince Ugochinyere nwa Amadioha Nsirimo. Ọ bụ mbụ onye hiwara EYN na nkwupụta nke a na-akpọ Eastern Youth Network. Ana m achọ ịkọwa taa n'olu Bekee nakwa n'olu Igbo ihe EYN a pụtara, ihe mere ejiri mmalite EYN a. Ọ bụghị na m na-achọ ego ọ na m na-achọ ihe m na-arụ. Ịma m ihe m na-arụ, Chineke gozigokwa m. Kama ọ bụ ozi Amadioha ziri m ka m bịazie ụmụ Igbo na ndị Biafra. Na ọ bụ ya nwa bụ chi aha nke ziri Moses ozi n'ala Ijipt. Na ọkwa ya nwa bụ chi aha nke mere ka Biafra na-enwe isi. N'ugbu a na ya apụtala ihe ime ka a mara ya dịka chi aha na ọrụ kwesịrị ọrụrụ. N'ime otu ọrụ ndị aha nke kwesịrị ọrụrụ n'ime steeti Biafra nke a na-atụ anya ya, otu n'ime ya bụ ọrụ nke a nke m akpọrọ m oku ya ka m rụọ n'aha Biafra na ụdị Eastern Youth Network. N'ihi na ala Biafra n'ọtụtụ mgbe gara aga n'anya ndị iro ekwuru na arụrụ ala niile ekewasịchala ya. Enwekwa onye ma ebe ala nọrọ rụọ, enwekwa onye ma onye kewa eziokwu. Ya mere mgbe ndị Iche ji kpọọ m ọkpụkpọ oku, mgbe Amadioha jiri zie m ozi, ahụghị m ya na-arụ m arọ hụ Amadioha. Ahụrụ m Amadioha n'ihu na ihu dịka nwoke na nwoke ibe ya na-ekwu okwu ka mụ na ya kwuru okwu. Ya sị m na ọ bụ nkwekọrịta ihe niile bụ mmụọ na ezumezu zite Nnamdi Kanu site na agbụrụ Kamanụ ịbịa gbasa ozi ya, n'ihi na onye gawara ọgụ para igbugbo ya na ụmụnne ya kwụ. Igbugbo Nnamdi Kanu para gawa ọgụ Biafra bụ redio Biafra. Ụwa niile anụ olu ya. What does that parable mean? He that went to a war with a gong is with his kinsmen. So the gong that Nnamdi Kanu took to the war is the radio Biafra, where he sounded the message and it penetrated every kindred, it penetrated every tongue, it penetrated every people, and it penetrated every nation. That is the message of the light of Amadioha. Chukwu Okike, Abiama is Amadioha. Go and find out. Maybe you don't know who the God you are calling. Now he has come out in person to announce himself that he is the God, even the God that freed you from the land of Egypt, that he has risen now to free you from the bondage of Biafra. And this work of which he has sent me, if what I have put together, and I call it Eastern Youth Network, my responsibility, my own assignment is to see that the government is properly constituted for the Eastern nation. have no mentor. Nobody have sent me. I am partisan of nothing. I stand only for the mission that Amadioha have sent me for the Eastern nation to come. And the message is that Nigeria will have 3 presidents towards the freedom. And these 3 presidents will emerge. If this 3 presidents is coming in Nigeria, that is to say, the step towards our freedom has begun. And that is when we need to put ourselves together. What have we put together towards the future? We are clamoring for 2023 election. I tell you that 3 presidents is emerging. One from the east, one from the north, and then the Yoruba nation. That is the 3 presidents we are expecting to see. That is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. This is a proprietary arrangement of the British and other allies that have not been made known. But I'm revealing to you now as a high prince, because I operate in the highest order of all height of authority. There is no secret that we don't know. And now when they have perfected this plan, they will present it. But before they come with it, we are prepared. The Lord said we should move and get things ready before time. Because I want to explain to you, with this flag before me on this table, and then with this flyer that I have made, I put together in its simplicity to explain this mission for every youth, not just in Nigeria, but in diaspora. Because he said that he is giving us freedom all over the world. That is the reason why he has spread us all over the world. That we will build his temple in every land that we dwell, to worship him, to serve him in true manner and in proper principle. So the work is a large one, and it requires all hands on deck. I have come with my message. I acknowledge that Nnamdi Kanu is truly a saint from the gods. He was sent for this message. He never came for business. So we must rise up now and do our own part. He has done his part. And as an Eastern youth, he is also part of this program. He's not outside the East. So I call on the Eastern youth in London. I call on the Eastern youth in Germany. I call on the Eastern youth in America. I call on the Eastern youth all over the world to pay attention to this significant issue that we must look into and resolve it. This is the time. If we fail to do it now, we will be hijacked. Now, politics is 2 minds, which our fathers call Uche Abo. That is politics. In our system of governance, in our ancient system of governance, we don't work on Uche Abo, which is politics. We work on proper democracy, which is Ohakarame, not Onye Menuchia. So what we practice in Nigerian politics, Onye Menuchia, that is why any government can come up and do whatever thing he likes and go away. That is not politics. That is not proper democracy. If the professors in this country who feel that they have read well, and the lawyers and the so-called businessmen that have read well in this country cannot advance, our learned, our prudent, our great, our wise cannot put our country straight, that what we are practicing is not actually democracy. We are not practicing proper politics. So in that vein, the country cannot hold. It's impossible. If anybody is giving you hope that Nigeria will survive, tell that person he does not know anything. So let us begin now to put ourselves together to what is coming, because it must surely come. It is coming. 3 presidents is emerging, and one from the east. Who will that person be from the east? It's the person asking the youth. And it falls under the umbrella of the youth to fashion a system, a proper constitution, which might be transformed to a wheel of governance for the people, where all concerned will be taken care of. That is the mission of the Eastern Youth Network. I am not a politician, and I have interest in seeing that the right thing is done. From 2018, we initiated and instituted this program, which we call Building Mechanism to Accelerate Socio-Economic Development in our environment. I, as an environmental specialist, as an environmental development professional, I think I have a right as an authority to initiate a principle to develop the environment of which I am part and parcel of. No, I am not talking because of the wealth beneath our feet. No, I am talking because of the man standing in that environment. And in this whole discussions, I have programmed it in its simplicity, the direction of our work as Eastern Youth, which I said our guiding philosophy, which is the first step we are taking today, reconciliation. We talked about the reconciliation in our previous messages because we are taking preliminary teaching, taking preliminary discussion on what we are doing. We are as well putting together everything that is required towards the successful presentation and achievement of this objective given by the gods of heaven and earth. Now, the gods I said does not mean a small g. There's nothing like small g to any name. Now, this is our guiding philosophy, reconciliation. In our reconciliation program, we are going to focus on our cultural heritage. We are going to focus on our traditional heritage. We are going to focus on our religious heritage. And now there is no how our people will understand these three guiding principles towards reconciliation if we don't teach them to understand it under the dome of our own culture. So that is why we have to open a channel. The only way to reach them is through the social media, where we teach concerning our culture, where we will teach concerning our tradition, where we will teach concerning our religion. And now as we perfectly teach on that, we now move into our liberty. The title of liberty, that a man has his liberty, is the man who has the memory of his God and his tradition for the peace and progress of his wife and his children, for justice, truth, and equity to all men. That is the proper definition of liberty. So, as a man, I don't have my liberty in the Constitution of Nigeria. So I now put it together that in the Constitution of Nigeria, liberty is not spelled out as a heritage. Now we are going to focus on equality and justice in our liberty. We are going to focus on right to security. We are going to focus on entrepreneurial liberalization. We are going to focus on leadership decisiveness. Now we will now move into what we call the freedom proper. This process is going to go on while Nnamdi Kanu is in detention, because he is coming out there with the Biafra we seek. Quote me, he cannot live there without Biafra. So we are patient. Now we'll now go into the freedom proper. What is the freedom of man in the environment? It is that man who has right to his birth. So we'll discuss what birthright is and how to establish it for every individual. Then we'll discuss what our mortality ratio is. Are we supposed to be measured the kind of children we're born? No. If you want to born 1 million, yes, you have to pray to give birth to that. But the area I want us to point out is mortality right. That a wife, that a woman, that a mother has a right to bear a child and give birth to that child without suffering pain of who and how. That has been our cultural way of taking care of birth. We don't pay for it. So a woman don't supposed to go to hospital and pay money because they want to put to bed or begin to obtain one card or the other. No, this is the areas we need to look into, and that is our right as citizens. Now, if the country cannot enshrine this in the constitution to favor every citizen, then the nation is as good as zero, does not exist. Now, in conclusion of our freedom, we will now look into the right to knowledge. You see, they gave us education, which is the key, and they hide away the knowledge, which is the power. That power is the power of productivity. That power of knowledge is the power of creativity. That power of knowledge is the power of craftsmanship. They deny us the power of knowledge and gave us the key, which is education. What does education do? Just for us to be able to understand and learn the languages of others. Education is all about language. Because by the time I was introduced into physics, chemistry, or whatsoever, I discovered that I knew all these things in my own culture. It is called a different thing. But the language has made it for me to go and be educated in that language. Now I begin to understand what language has cost us as a people. So we need to go back to our own, to ourselves, to be who we are, so that we can be able to exercise our God-given talent and ability to build ourselves and establish a peaceful nation. I will reveal a secret to you about this Fulani herdsmen in the next video, and the reason why the cow is more multitude than even the human being. It's a secret in my next video that I'm going to pass to you. But today we're discussing Eastern Youth Network. Now, in Eastern Youth Network, our vision is to make a nation that will stand the test of time in goodwill to all men. That is our mission, our vision. Our mission is to plan and seek our citizens with visionary and leadership skills, motivating citizens to come out of inferior mentality, slavery, to a global competitive mentality in our environment. You see, because of this slavery, our mental slavery, we are not able to discern truth in us, because we have been mentally enslaved to believe in what is not necessary to that which is required. So what are we trying to say here? What we are trying to say is that our youth need to come out of this inferiority mental reasoning and stand up to what is truth, to what is right, and ensure that it is done. In conclusion of what we are doing is to discuss the arm here. The hand is a logo of which in the future I will make a proper explanation of this logo that the gods have said must be on this flag as the 5-star, representing the 5 kingdoms of the 7 princes. Now, what do we need to understand concerning the flag before you, or this tablecloth? We have red, black, and green with the sunrise design of the sun as the flag of Biafra. Amadeo has said that when he spoke to Ojukwu, it was the flag of the army, that is the uniform of the army of Biafra. That is the army. That today it has suffered violence and darkness, and that when the problem that will come, that Biafra will be a nation of light. The sun have risen and covered the darkness. That darkness will not be no more. This vision came before the proclamation on the 29th of May, and that was why I used it as the tablecloth on the 29th of May in the proclamation of the message of the cause to the Igbo nation and Eastern nation and Eastern youth at large. Now, the Eastern nation flag is what you see on this table. That is the nation you are seeing coming. Then the design that will be here will be the stars of the 7 kingdoms of authorities of the land of Biafra. If we choose to paint the stars with black, it is our choice. If we choose to make it the hand, it is our choice. Then I can explain how it is 7 here, and also how it represents the 7 stars, which is the 7th kingdom. Now, this is the meaning of this, that the Biafra flag today you fly around is the army of Biafra, which command they have sent Nnamdi Kanu to put together and to accomplish a central command. I'm using this venue to tell you that every instruction that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have put on ground before this operation, please ensure that it is being carried out appropriately without mistake. And I want to tell you in good faith and in good will that Ebu Biela Parilike, all the rubbish that engulfed Nnamdi Kanu with, the gods have cut it off. He is coming out victorious with this nation, and then be patient for it. The rising sun is no longer rising. It has risen and has shined. And he said that this is the power of the nation, that this is the remembrance of the sacrifices of the fallen heroes, and that this will be the green vegetation of our glory. That in this nation, power of the spiritual height, the heavens will come down and rule with you here. And that is the sun, that you are the sun, the nation of the sun. That is the message I want to pass to you. And my work have begun. I owe nobody apology. Today I am calling for a peaceful reunion. I call on all the lawyers, all our legal professionals as far as the Eastern nation is concerned, both home and abroad, to come down. Let us fashion up a will built in our culture for the governance of our land. I call on all doctors, medical, and otherwise, in as much as you are a fellow in this honorary program that we all have attained to, I call upon you to assemble. That is my duty. I have begun my own work. I am not looking for your money, but I have begun the work that Amadioha have sent me, and I will do it till its fulfillment. You will not see Nnamdi Kanu tomorrow to talk to. The man you will see tomorrow to talk to have come. I am here. Amadioha is here now to solve the problem and to end it once and for all. Victory for Nnamdi Kanu. Victory for Biafra. This is my decree and my message. And as a high prince, it will stand. No other authority is above my authority. And I will not unleash my power for money. Neither will I unleash it to terrorize you. But I will call you in harmony, in truth, that we will go matchlessly. We will move forward and not backward until we see that this great work of Elohim, this great work of Elohim Sabot, this great work of Amadioha Ishimi, this great work of Alandiche, this great work of Kamano will come to pass. And we all will rejoice in glory to glorify God and say he has done it. This I know to be true, and I testify it with all honesty in the name of our gods, even in heaven, on earth, and in the waters. Amen.